Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Jane Moore, Linda Robson, Denise Welsh, and Brenda Edwards.
Hello and welcome to today's Loose Women. Coming up with more mums and dads relying on grandparents for regular help with the kids, we're asking if they should be consulted before another baby is born. Plus, are you wilder in your 50s than in your 20s? We're discussing if age really is but a number. And he grew up surrounded by 8 bossy aunties, his words, not mine. But let's see how he gets on with 4 loose ladies. The wonderful Gino D'Acampo will be joining us for a little chat later. And as we just discovered earlier, anything can happen when Gino's on the show. Also, we would like to hear what you think about all of the topics that we're discussing today. But first, Brenda, you were out last night for a very special event. Tell us all about it.
Last night was the first fundraising event that we held for Jamal, for the Jamal Edwards Self-Belief Trust, which is all about helping young people that are homeless and helping get young people into work and giving them internships and apprenticeships and things, which we're working with Centrepoint on. And it was an amazing fundraising event. We managed to raise over £105,000.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was again, obviously very overwhelming, and it was full of people that worked with Jamal in the record industries and performers. We had Queen Mills, Jessie Ware, Max Justice did a beautiful poem, Lewis Capaldi, and of course Ed was there, and it was hosted by the amazing Terry Crews. Sorry, Ed Sheeran, and it was hosted by Terry Crews. It was just wonderful. You know, there was an acetate of Ed's album that's not actually yet recorded or released. That was an auction.
I bet that went for a bit.
It was the highest. It was the highest one at 30-something thousand.
Amazing. And did you actually manage to enjoy it? Because all the events you've been you've been literally running around organising everything. You actually got to sit still for a change.
Did. The night was organised by a friend, and the lady that's organised the working on the trust, Tracy Parry Knight. And, you know, she did it. She came to me and Tanisha when Jamal passed away and said she wanted to do something special that we can just sit and relax. And we did get a chance to sit and relax, and it was really lovely.
And a lot of love in the room for Jamal, obviously.
It was lovely to see all the love in the room.
Brenda, we as your friends and colleagues are just so intensely proud of how you are dealing with such a horrendous loss, but also that you are continuing Jamal's amazing legacy and doing so much good for everybody. It's really quite, you know, it's quite awe-inspiring, isn't it, to see what you're dealing with and the work you're putting into it.
Thank you.
And Linda, how much did you bid for dinner with Idris Elba?
I want to put my house on the market.
Well, you're what on the market?
My house.
Oh, your house.
Not my...
She said house. She said house. I'm putting on my posh voice now because it has been reported that King Charles is set to be crowned next spring, and planning is already underway. But considering the current cost of living crisis, should the palace consider a more bargain basement coronation? What do you think,
No,
Linda?
I think we should be out celebrating again. I mean,
Again?
Remember when we used to have the street parties and all your neighbours were out and you'd all bring food out, they'd have big tables in the road and all the kids would be out and you'd all be mixing against, a bit like just what's happened with the Queen and that. It was so nice because the whole country sort of got together, didn't they? So yeah, I think we should have a really big celebration. Just make our own food, bring it out onto the streets. Not my food, obviously. I'd buy mine. I'm not the best cook in the world. I can make a sandwich, just about that. I think we should have like what the Queen would have had, like afternoon tea and like cucumber.
So you think
sandwiches
street
with the crust
parties is
cut
a
off.
better route? Because what I was thinking you were talking about was all the pomp and ceremony.
Oh no, we've had all that.
We've had, which was amazing, but of course very
ever
expensive.
Yeah. But no, just local, sort of like getting your own streets and whatever. You over your area, me and my road, and you where you live.
Can't I come to your area?
Yeah, my area.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I agree. I think that, you know, it's all been quite a lot this last 10 days. But I think that it definitely will be a celebration. But I think that Charles, hopefully, as the new king will read the room and realise that although the money spent on this type of pageantry and pomp obviously brings a lot of revenue into this country, I think that it should be a slightly scaled back affair. And like you say, celebrated more with the street party. And also, please, can I put a request into King Charles that it's just for one day?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I found that, you know, a lot.
I mean,
10 days of a media blackout and everything.
Yeah,
is a bit
he's
too much
kind
for
of,
me.
he's signed the proclamation, so he's king already. So I think by next spring we'll be very used to him being king. So the coronation could maybe, I think, be restricted to sort of more of a televisual
Yeah.
event.
I
What
think
do you think?
I totally agree with you. We're in a digital age now where, you know, unfortunately, a lot of us had to do a lot of things digitally over the pandemic time, and it seemed to work. And I think it would be nice to lead by example and have a more eco-friendly, climate-conscious.
Well, he's
kind
very
of
into all
event.
that, isn't he?
Yeah,
King
exactly.
Charles?
So I think
today.
it would be appreciated if you know, if they considered that, it's an option. So and everybody can see it from the comfort of their own homes, and you know,
I do think.
much
I mean,
better.
there's lots of reports about that he's planning a more slimmed down
slimmed down
monarchy. So
version.
currently on the royal website, I think there's 22 members of working royals, and he's planning to put that down to 7. But when you think actually that all over the country, you know, all you guys will know with your local areas and everything, members of the royal family come all the time to open things that people don't know about.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Absolutely.
for people to do when there's only 7 of them.
Also, as well, I just think that Charles just thinks, let me just get to Highgrove with the cats and the dogs and put my feet up and have a cup of tea, because it's just,
He
it's
hasn't
a lot,
stopped, has he?
isn't
No.
it?
Yeah.
It's a lot
Since
to
the
put
day
all
she
that
died,
gear
he's
on
been
and all the
working.
marching and
Yeah.
the handshaking.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
You should be his advisor, Denise.
I should be his advisor.
New job.
I'm
Now then.
advising to get a new advisor.
Now then, reports show that 1 in 5 Brits are resorting to DIY dentistry, ouch, after being able to, or unable rather, to get an appointment with their dentist in the past year. Now, this has led to some people to suggest that teachers should maybe start teaching our kids how to brush their teeth at school as a preventative measure. So then, of course, they don't become adults with early teeth problems. Do you think this is the right direction to go in? It's putting more pressure on teachers, isn't it?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know it was a thing that so many kids aren't taught to brush their teeth. I thought that that was just what we did. I will admit that although I was quite stringent on teeth brushing, I was a little bit lax with sweeties and stuff as well. Well, obviously, my family were a confectionery family, so I used to turn up at parties. I was on the A-list with these great big jars of sweets. I was like a pusher. But so, you know, but I always used to insist that and as far as I'm aware, thinking back to playgroup and nursery and everything, I don't remember the kids cleaning their teeth at school. I think that it's important.
Because parents did it.
Well, parents did it, but I think it's important for teachers to recognise, because, you know, there's lots of disparity between the home lives of lots of children. And I think it's important for the teachers to recognise if dental hygiene isn't
It's a lot
being...
of pressure, though,
It is a lot of pressure, but I don't think there's anything wrong with kids being encouraged to maybe clean their teeth at school, but it's certainly not the teacher's responsibility. It should start at home.
I mean, more than 100 children a day have rotten teeth removed in hospital, and it cost the NHS an estimated £205 million since 2012. Did you teach?
I know everybody thinks that I'm really strict and stuff with the kids, and I am for a reason. You know, I'm quite glad that I have no fillings in my mouth. I never.
You have none?
No, I don't have any
Wow.
fillings. I give the kids treats and sweets and things like that at Christmas once a year.
Yeah, the word's treat.
And they get,
not like daily diet.
Yeah, they used to look forward to it because it's like, you know, you've got your Santa's your foot your oh my God, what's it called? Your Santa sack. You got your Santa sack, and I used to fill it of, you know, your treat and sweet cake, and that's when I would not go out and buy it for the kids, and I'm glad that their teeth are.
Well, kids feel punished now if they've got fruit or
I'm not
sweets
saying
in their
that's just
stocking.
how I did it, because that was what I was told. And when I went to school, I remember they gave us this tablet when I was about 7 years old, and you eat it, and then you could see what was
Did
left.
they?
And that,
Did
yeah,
they?
and that was quite. As much as I found that, this is informative. It was quite scary to see how much was there. So from that, I'm like,
the NHS teeth brushing tips: start brushing your baby's teeth as soon as the first milk tooth breaks through, which is usually around 6 months. So then obviously the parent has
What,
to
you
do
brush
it.
the one little
That's
tooth?
the last thing you say to your
You
kids. Like
always do.
when your kids are going to bed, you always say to them, don't forget, brush
Yeah.
your teeth. That's the first thing you did. And first thing in the morning, you'd brush your teeth and that. But it's definitely not down to the teachers. It's definitely down
not.
to
No.
the parents to
Parents'
advise them what to do.
responsibility.
I always had a goodie drawer in my fridge, like a chocolate drawer. And do you know what? My kids very rarely touched it. Because it was there and they could have it if
Well,
they
I'm
wanted
surprised
it.
by that.
But when
So-
their friends came, they'd love the chocolate
We
drawer.
did a poll: should teeth cleaning be in the school timetable? And yes, 64%, which I'm quite surprised by.
Wow.
Okay, after the break, should we expect grandparents to provide regular childcare? No prizes for guessing which one of us would love to have their grandkids every day of the week. And he's swapping the kitchen for the Loose Women studio. Gino D'Acampo will be telling us the secret to his success and why he thinks women should run the world. Well done, Gino, well said. We'll be back after this. Nice to see you again. Still to come, he's an expert in the kitchen, but it seems Gino D'Acampo knows a thing or two about romance as well. He'll be telling us how he surprised his wife Jessica for their 20th wedding anniversary. But it's competition time first. Now, how do you fancy bagging yourself a cash prize of £100,000? Oh yes, they're back. Here's Craig with all the details.
Hey, how are you? I'm just having a bit of a chilled out time in Paris Court Gardens. I want to show you something though. Because, you know, people are at work here and they don't want to get in the way. And look, she's hiding. You don't need to hide. This is your gorgeous garden. You can do stuff. Don't worry about us. That's so cute. What a beautiful place. I mean, autumn's hit here, but still the colours are so vibrant. It's a really pleasant place to chill out. £100,000 is like having an extra £8,000 every month for an entire year. It really is. £100,000 in tax-free cash. That's what's up for grabs in the competition. It's an awesome, life-changing amount of money. This is how you get involved. For another chance to win, text cash to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 78119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday, the 21st of October at 3 p.m. The very best of luck. Ah, yes, the Dahlia Edge of Joy, my favourite of all the dahlias. And you'll be on the edge of joy too if you win the competition. £100,000. It could be yours. Best of luck. Dahlia's a flower, right? Because I basically just read that.
Yes, good luck, everyone. Now, Davina McCall says aging has given her a new lease of life and she's partying until 2 a.m. and lying in until 10 a.m. Now, I couldn't really identify with this. I think I've had a bit of a new lease of life. I've started going to, you know, like you go to weddings and you go to weddings of friends' kids.
Yeah.
I'm always the last one on the dance floor. All the youngsters, by about 11 o'clock, they're like, oh, I think I might go to bed now.
No. Since I've been in my 60s, I just go to everything that I'll get invited to because I'm scared I'm going to miss out on something.
FOMO.
So about 2 weeks ago, we went to see Steps, me, Nadia and Lee, our warm-up bloke and that, and we were out till 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to take them to home because they'd had... Lee fell asleep in the car, and when we got to Bermondsey, I had to wake him up. Nadia lost her phone, and when we dropped her off, she didn't know what house to go into. But we had such a good night. We really, really did.
But do you identify with that? It is that thing, I think, particularly, I'm not speaking for Davina, but what I was reading between the lines was when your kids get older, you don't have to be at home. You don't have to get up so early.
Well, you're home alone, aren't you,
and you
most of the time?
kind of like raise your head above the parapet and think, oh, I can go out a bit more now and do a few more things. Do you identify with that?
Well, I completely do. I think that there used to be that old adage of, well, I've made me bed, I've got to lie in it, about so many things, and there was an assumption you were going to be a certain age. I'm 64 now, and the Beatles wrote that song, "When you get old and losing your hair." That's what their perception of 64 is. I'm gaining hair on my chin. I'm not losing it anywhere. I have to say, I'm like Brian Blessed when I wake up some days. But I can't do 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm surprised, Davina, because neither of us drink. That's made a big difference. I was not a wild child. I don't know what I was, but I was very wild in my 40s and 50s.
I remember.
Yes,
We'll
you remember. I know. But I do find that, what do you call them? The Gen Zs or something,
Zs,
which is our kids' age, like Louis, 21. I said to him, "What do you want to do for your 21st? And he went, "Oh, I just want to have like a family dinner," which was lovely. But we were out all night. And recently, my eldest son's a musician, and he was headlining Reading, which was a big, big thing. And I said to my nephew, William, who's 30, "Do you want to come with Auntie Niece," they call me, "and see your cousin headlining Reading?" "Oh, the thing is, I've got to be up at 5 in the morning." I went, "Oh, for God's sake, William, you're 30 years old. I would have gone straight there and just done an all-nighter."
Well, I'm like you. I resent the whole thing of, as you get older, you find your lease of life, or if you get older, you're slowing it down. For me, I'm 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm going to keep going till my legs drop off. And even when they do, with my broken ankle, I'll still keep going.
I think you've got to flip the narrative in your head. You can be, "Oh my God, I'm 64," or you can be, "I'm only 64.
Yeah.
So I work on that and feeling, I'm having the time of my life, and I've got a young husband as well, so that's good.
The only thing I don't identify with, when she said I don't stay in bed till 10 o'clock, the one thing I can't lie in anymore.
Oh, I mean,
when I was young, I used to be able to lie in. But now, if I can sleep past 8 o'clock, I'm lucky.
Yeah, no, I'm always up by about 7:30.
What,
The
just
dog wants
voluntarily?
by then, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But
I'm
you've
always.
got
I probably have
dog to
about
feed.
7 hours sleep a night. That's about it for me. That's all I need.
Can you lie in?
I can have 8 hours. If I start at 12, I'll wake up at 8. If I go to bed at 3, I'll wake up 8 hours later, and I will stay in that bed until I wake.
Yeah.
Nice.
I watch too much rubbish television on my phone. I watch hours of The Real Housewives before I drop off to go to sleep.
Right, well, moving on, recent figures show that grandparents are being relied on more than ever to provide regular childcare, with a fifth of over 50s taking on the lion's share. So with this in mind, should grandparents be consulted before a baby is conceived, if, of course, they're going to be the ones looking after the child? Now, I think I know the answer to this, Linda.
I don't think I'd need to be consulted. I just would be delighted.
You're there going,
honestly.
come on, I've got another one.
Well, you know, when she was crying for Lila, it took her 2 years to fall pregnant. So I got her this sexy little night dress, like a little negligee thing. And I said, "That's your get pregnant night dress." And it worked. Took her 2 years, but 2 years later, Lila come along. And then when she was trying for another one with Betsy, I said, "Get the night dress out again and it'll work again." But during lockdown, she said, "I might try for one more," because she's 39 now. She'll be.
I hope she's not watching this. She's going to
She
kill
probably
you.
is, but she looks after children. 4 children she looks after every day with my sister, under sort of 4 and that. But she just said, "I don't think," because she's going to be 40 next year, so she wants to celebrate that. She wants to renew her wedding vows as well. So I don't think she's.
But I know you obviously love spending time with your grandchildren. But would you seriously want to look after them full time?
Well, when she had Lila, I thought, I'm never going to love another grandchild like I love Lila. But obviously I do. Then Betsy come along, and then I kept thinking, if another one comes along now, I would absolutely be delighted. Because there's loads of babies in our family. My nephew Ted's.
But wouldn't it impinge on your newfound massive social life if you had to look after the babes?
Because given the choice, I would rather lay in bed with Lila and Betsy and watch movies on the laptop till probably about 11 or 12 o'clock and say to them, "Don't tell Mummy we're going to sleep at 9 o'clock. Don't you dare tell them."
But that's the lovely side. That's the side of being, because I'm going to be.
I know. I was going to say, here we're handing over.
I'm going to be a granny. I'm going to be a nana. Because it's Lincoln's son Lewis, who is my stepson, and his lovely wife Lizzie. So they're due in March, and we are just so excited because I've been so desperate. And they obviously are going to have to share the baby, because with blended families, you've got Lincoln and I, then you've got Lewis's mom, and then you've got Lizzie's mum and dad. So there's going to be a little bit of a squabble on as to who has it. But I don't think that kids should have a child and just automatically rely on the grandparents, because I'm having a great time in my 60s. I want to be the granny who can do that, but not has the baby full time. So I think Lewis and Lizzie said that, you know, they're very happy that everyone's going to chip in, but they're going to have to adapt their lives, because I don't think it's fair that, you know, I mean, some people want to do that. My mum was very surprised, my late mum. She said, I always knew I'd love my grandchild because it was your child. She said, but I was totally unprepared, which you have just really said, for the overwhelming love.
Oh my God.
So although my mum had said, well, I'm not looking after it all the time, she literally used to push me out the way to get to the baby. And she used to sort of prod him when he was asleep secretly to try and wake him up, because Matty slept all the time. Yeah.
But Brenda, I'm going to sense here that when Tanisha eventually, you'll be starring in some West End show somewhere, and you won't be on nanny duties.
Yeah, no, I won't be on nanny duties. I have explained that because I, as Denise says, and I am trying to do my thing. But if she ever wants me to look after a grandchild, I would gladly do that as well. Because obviously, you know, she never had that growing up, and I had my grandmother raising me. So, you know, I can appreciate what everybody's saying, but I don't think, I think if you are going to be expected to be the main carer, you should be consulted. Otherwise, fill your boots, do what you're
Yeah,
doing.
because otherwise you're just being taken for granted.
Yeah,
aren't you,
absolutely.
And your time.
Yeah.
Or
But
you've
yeah,
got, yeah.
And you're a nanny,
you're-
Jane, as well.
Well, yeah, I'm nanny to my stepdaughter's daughter, but she lives out in the countryside. So, you know, when Ellie and Grace have kids, I think I've decided I'm going to be. Have you ever watched Motherland? That sitcom?
Oh, I love Motherland.
It's brilliant. She spends her life looking through her mother's letterbox going, Mum, I know you're in there. Come and look after your grandchildren. And she's hiding behind the sofa. So I think that's going to be me. Let's see. Right, after the break, following allegations that Maroon 5's frontman Adam Levine has been a bit of a naughty boy, we're asking, could you forgive your partner for crossing the line? We're going to be discussing that next. Welcome back to your Wednesday Loose Women Live. Alongside me, Jane Moore, it's Linda Robson, Denise Welsh and Brenda Edwards. Still to come today, if an uninvited guest turns up at your door, do you welcome them in or pray that they'll go away? Find out how one of us avoids unwanted visitors. And he's everyone's favourite Italian chef, Gino D'Acampo, will be here telling us about the very strict rule he sticks to in order to get the perfect work-life balance. But before all of that, Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine has addressed recent allegations that he cheated on his wife, Behati. He said he didn't have an affair, but instead admits that he crossed the line.
Far across that line.
Well, yeah, but what crosses the line for you, Brenda?
Everything crosses the line. For me, I think it's easier said than done to forgive any sort of infidelity. And the problem that you will have if you don't address why that happened is it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that kept happening in this case. It's alleged, but
well, in his he has admitted to sending flirtatious texts,
which
to
lead
this.
to
Oh,
and
come
so
on,
if you're
Adam.
sending flirtatious text, there's something that you're not happy with to be able to send that flirtatious text to your partner.
Yeah.
Find out what that problem is, solve it. If you can't solve it, get out and do something clean.
And then what's worse is that his wife's now pregnant and he wants to call the baby the name of the woman that he's allegedly had an
Yes.
affair with.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That
I'm
for
so
me was
sorry.
the killer text. I mean, obviously the flirtatious texts are not great either, but he lost contact with the young woman for a while, and then suddenly she got a text from him out of the blue saying, my wife's pregnant, if we have a girl or a boy, I would like to call them Sumner. Is that okay with you?
There's a rabbit off here.
Denise?
Yes. Well, yeah. My life has changed out of all proportion, you know, for so many reasons. I don't recognise the person that I was several years ago. I've dealt with, you know, a lot of that. So my crossing the line boundaries have changed a lot. I will also say that there are some reasons that you stay with infidelities because there are children involved,
very young
and
children.
you think that you are doing the right thing. But now Lincoln and I have a relationship which is, we're not jealous of each other. We're very open. We don't do anything to make each other jealous. But I used to have a thing with not a thing, but I used to have a conversation with Jackie Brambles, who used to be, you know, our anchor, lovely Jackie, years ago. And she used to say that if her husband David so much as kissed somebody, that would be the end of their marriage. And I remember sitting here going, oh, don't be so utterly ridiculous. There's far worse things people could do to you than kiss somebody. Now I would smash Lincoln's face in and then leave, honestly, because I think that sexting is, to me, having an affair. If my husband was sending sexual messages to someone on a social media platform or any platform, that to me is having an affair. That, you know, it's like kissing. Kissing somebody is the most, you know, that wonderful, intimate part of a relationship. When you're doing the willies in foo-foos bit, that's not so emotional as the actual kissing. No, but it's not, is it though? You can do that without emotion, I've heard.
It's funny, you talking about Jackie, though. It's so funny being on the show, isn't it? Because we get haunted by old clips of things that we said back in the day. Because I can remember I was always, no, if they're unfaithful, one strike and they're out, you know, blah, blah,
Get
blah.
rid of them.
But yeah, but if you have young children, it's different if you're just, you know, either in a relationship or you're much older and your children have
I
left
think once
home.
you've lost the trust, that's
No,
it.
but if
You'll
you
never
have
get
young
that trust
children,
back
it's
again.
not just about you, is it? It's about pulling the rug out from under the children as well.
But,
Yeah, but
it's,
the kids can
sometimes
sense
pulling
that
the
you're
rug is better
unhappy.
than the children being around and seeing something that's not
Yeah.
actually working and living on a lie.
And they often don't thank you for staying,
Yeah,
but
no.
you think you're doing the right thing.
Communication is the key for everything. You've got to speak, and even if, you know, if it is young children, you speak to those children and let them know. Be open with them so that they can make an informed decision themselves.
It's very easy to judge people, though, but I always think until you've walked a mile in someone's shoes, isn't it? And until you've lived, you know, it's very easy to judge people.
Well,
I try not to,
this is-
except I just have judged Adam Levine.
This is my favourite topic of today because it's a subject close to my heart. So Ryland Clark has revealed that his mum's got a spare set of keys to his house, and basically she just pops in whenever she likes. So, you know, he told this anecdote about how he had somebody staying over and then suddenly he heard like, woo, from downstairs. And it was like, no. Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel about uninvited guests, Dan?
Well, I mean, if it was Ryland's mum, I'd be more than happy for her to pop in. I think she's.
But would you?
No, I wouldn't. I am so anti the cold caller. It's untrue. I mean,
even members of your own family?
Oh God, particularly members of my own family. But we have been known to do army manoeuvres at the sound of the doorbell, as in down, like that, round there.
Oh my God.
The other thing is as well, sometimes if I've been having a sort of a sofa day and I just haven't even got out of my pajamas, if I think it might be a parcel or something, I've got a towel on standby and I put it on my hair and do the old, just got out the shower. When I haven't, I've just got off the sofa watching Married at First Sight. But no, I don't like cold calling. I just think that I'm unprepared, and I'm never that happy to see somebody that it's okay. So I just think a little phone call or a little text saying, can we pop round? I say no, and that's the end of the conversation.
That story reminds me of my Auntie Mabel, who would always put her coat on when someone knocked at the door. And if it was someone she liked, she'd say, I've just come in, and she'd take her coat off. And if it was someone she didn't like, you've just caught me on the way out.
That's what I'm going to do.
I think that's
brilliant.
I like that. Yeah, I'm well known among my friends. Don't pop in on Jane.
No,
I'm
no.
not a popper in.
No, not a popper in.
No.
No, I like boundaries.
Absolutely, you got a call before you come, but if you
Yeah.
come, you better not come with your long hand. You better bring something.
And obviously,
with
we're
you.
going to be charged.
You
if
know
we
what I
come
mean
to
with
your
long
house.
hands, empty is what I mean. Sorry.
Get charged a £5 when we go to your house.
But look, yeah, but you get looked after very well,
We
and you
do,
get
yeah,
fed
we
and
do,
watered for
we
that
do.
£5. That's a, it
What
goes a long way.
you would feed and water a popperina?
No, I wouldn't. You've got to call before you come round. Nobody can just come round. If you know, it's different. If my kids were living with me, they had a key to the family home.
Yes.
Whenever you want to
different.
come home, you
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
If they give me a key to their home to look after it or whatever, I would never, in a month of Sundays, think of just turning up just in case there's number 17
Now, I've got-
and what going on the.
What's number
I've-
17?
Yeah. According to a very favourite musical that I was in where I broke my ankle, Chicago, it's a line from there.
I've
But,
got
yeah.
a sneaking suspicion we have a popper inner among us.
Oh,
Well, my son Louis lives downstairs to me. Now, I broke my heart when my kids moved out. I walked past their bedroom
He
doors every
literally
night.
moved
What, he went downstairs?
We've got a self-contained flat downstairs, and him and his partner lived downstairs. And I had a key to that flat, so when they weren't in, or if they'd been away somewhere, I'd go down and clean it all nicely for them.
no, Linda.
But
you
now they've
can't
taken
do
the
that.
key off me because I was popping down too much.
I wouldn't mind you popping in to clear up.
But his partner works for a skincare specialist, so I go in and in the bathroom cupboard there's all these lovely creams. I smother my face with all the creams. And I look gorgeous when I leave there.
Oh my God.
That is terrible. Look, we've had lots of comments on this. Julie, yeah, my kids still think it's a 24-hour buffet because they let themselves in and help themselves to a fridge. They're in for a shock when we move, when the new owners aren't so easy. We've got, Wendy, we've got a key safe. All our kids know the number, so they come and go as they want. Thomas, no, I don't give my key to anyone. The only family member's key I have is my sister's in case she needs a babysitter. So actually quite a lot of people are like us three. No, don't come in our house.
I think the other thing that you can do, what I used to do, I had these little things that I bought for the kids for Christmas, and they used to put a note. You could wipe it off on a whiteboard, and it's either come in or please do not disturb.
Yeah.
And if I see that, then you know.
Very, very,
put the
very
note
good
out
idea.
And adhere to it.
Excellent, excellent idea. Right. Still to come.
Is it me now?
No,
Not yet.
not yet. I know.
How long do I need to wait to be behind
After the
you?
break. Go on, back out. Back out.
Later.
Goodness me. Well, as you now know, everyone's favourite Italian chef, Gino D'Acampo, will be here. See you in a minute.
Chef, you're my favorite one.
Tomorrow, Nadia Hussain joins Loose Women for a long-awaited catch-up. The former Bake Off star will fill us in on her tasty TV adventures and reflect on what it was like baking by royal appointment. Nadia Hussain, tomorrow on Loose Women.
Hello again. In just a moment, we're talking food, family and female role models with the wonderful Gino D'Acampo. But before that, another chance for you to win our Autumn Boost competition, a cash prize of £100,000. Here's Craig with all the details.
Hi all, I am delighted to show you around, well, kind of my patch. This is my hood. This is Parscourt House in County Wicklow, close to where I live. And it is a stunning part of the country. Just look at that view. Sugarloaf Mountain just underneath the canopy of cloud there. It's a lovely place. And you know something? If you were to win £100,000, you could come over and visit us here. And I have an opportunity for you to do exactly that because the competition is worth £100,000 in tax-free cash. Oh, that's lovely. This is how you get involved. For another chance to win, text cash to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 781119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday, the 21st of October at 3 p.m. The very best of luck.
Yep, good luck with that. Now then, when it comes to Italian cooking, he's the man. It's your turn, Gino.
Okay, but you told them
He's
10
in the
times that
know.
I'm going to be on the show.
He knows everything that he learnt from his mama. Please
come here.
welcome again, Gino De Campo.
How much are we going to milk this one? We are milking this one like there is no tomorrow.
Just stay down. No, hang on. Just stand up again.
Okay.
You are half the man you used to be. What's going on?
What do you
Now
think
you
about
can sit
that?
down.
Lost weight.
Lost
Lost
weight,
weight.
a couple of kilos, nothing more than that, because I was in Sardinia. I came back 2 days ago.
How do you lose
And-
weight in Italy? No one loses weight.
all the
in
You
Italy.
know what? You see, this is the question that everybody goes. How is that Italian people, they always look good and all of that by eating pasta, pizza? Because we do it with moderation. Italian diet is not one of the, everybody thinks pizza, pasta,
No, it's really
risotto.
a healthy diet.
It's a healthy diet. You just have to control the portion and what you put with it. But if you follow a proper Italian diet and you have a proper Italian cookbook, a proper Italian... When I say a proper Italian cookbook, I mean...
Like that one,
Talking of
Gino.
which,
That's it. Cue the book. Cue the book. Now,
so here it is. Gino's Italy, like a mamma used to make.
like
right?
Mama used to make.
Yes. Now, I have to
like
say,
the accent.
these are my favourite kind of cookery books because I love it when you have recipes kind of like going back through the generations, like grandma's favourite recipe and so on.
There are some recipes there that they are about 80, 90. Why are you putting the book down?
Because I'm going to talk to you now.
Put the book here so
Now-
people can see.
You are feeling quite at home here, aren't you? Because
I am.
you had a bit of a childhood dominated by women, I believe.
I had the best childhood ever because I remember I never used to do the things that boys do, play football or go on the bike or get in trouble. I was always surrounded by my aunties, my female cousins in a kitchen. And no men were allowed in the kitchen those days because they said that we make too much mess. Why? I don't know.
Fair
But
point.
anyway, so always surrounded by women. And I remember I've always loved women. Always loved. And until today. I find women so fascinating, so
What do you mean
clever.
until today?
No, until today.
I always have women until today.
So, no, until today. Two dates.
Oh.
2 dates, right? Because I find women very clever, very, 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 really fascinating humans. And I like that. I feel more comfortable with women than men because men, they're stupid.
Yeah.
You have a conversation, after 10 minutes, I get bored.
And you say your granddad was a chef, but even he wasn't allowed in the kitchen.
Not in my grandmother's kitchen. No. He could cook for hundreds of people, but my grandmother would never allow in the kitchen.
Who does the cooking in
My-
your house?
In my
In your house?
house. House. Wow. House.
Who does the cooking in
I was
your
thinking,
house?
what, in my house, we, it's both. Jessica and I, we both do the cooking. Sometimes Luciano, my older son, gets involved. But I remember my father, the only thing that he was allowed to do in the kitchen is to grate Parmesan cheese. Because my mom, she didn't want to ruin her nail on the grater. So you would see this man, after a day of work, in the corner in the kitchen, grating the cheese away. And that's it. That's show the book again.
Gina, I'm enjoying watching
behave.
your Like Mama Used to Make, and I like the way that you said that you were inspired to cook because of all the women
Because of all
that
the women,
were
yeah.
around you. What's your favourite recipe, if you could give one?
In the book.
No,
No,
forget
in the book. Forget the
Gino.
book.
Well, I'm hoping it's in the book.
Have you written a book?
Yes, I did. What's my favorite recipe generally?
In the book.
In the book. Okay,
In the book, I can tell you. I'll tell you what I can tell you. It's a very difficult answer to give because it's like saying, I'd rather you ask me which one is your favorite child. I can do that. But recipes, I can. My little girl. I love my little girl. Yeah. The other two.
There's
But
two recipes.
the thing with recipes is depend how you feel. Sometimes I feel that I like fish, so I go for a fish recipe. Sometimes I eat meat. It's a very difficult one. In that particular book, the one that I'm plugging today is a recipe I'm going to do tonight. Is the bistecca alla fiorentina. which is a beautiful steak. It's quite thick that you cook in a certain way, so it's quite technical but very easy to follow. And we do that with a beautiful salsa verde and Italian roast potato with garlic, roast peppers.
lovely. That sounds
Beautiful.
I'm just thinking if my boys wrote a book called Like a Mama Used to Make, it would be toast. The end.
Well, you don't cook.
I'm not very good
But
at
who
it,
is the
Gino.
cook on the panel?
I'm
I
not
am.
very good at it. Lincoln,
Yeah,
So you're a good cook?
Brenda is
I
Okay.
as well, can't you?
All right.
Really? I'm a very prescriptive. If I've got a book in front of me and I follow it
Yeah.
religiously, but I'm not. An
I'm good at
instant-
pasta.
Right, show me how you would
Oh,
do this.
here
If
we
you got a
go.
book in front of you.
If I had this
book.
book in front of me, I'm not going to keep showing it. I'll show it later.
all right.
All right.
Can I just say, Italian food sounds so romantic, and you're a bit of a romantic, I hear. You did something with your lovely wife
I
recently.
do many things.
Yeah,
with
the
my
first-
wife. What are you on about?
No, as in your anniversary renewal.
Oh, last year, yes.
God.
Last year we did 20 years we've been together. I've been with my wife for 28 years.
Wow.
Yes. And no, actually, there is no need for
Why
that.
did you take so long to propose?
No, it took me a couple of years to propose, and then I just had to save the money to make sure that she was okay. So that my wife was my first girlfriend I had, second actually, first girlfriend that actually got some action. Yeah, because I came from the south of Italy, so I was a young boy. I went in Spain to cook as a chef. She used to be the waiter, so it was the first English woman I ever met, blonde, you know, quite. I used to go in the fridge to sort it out my meat for the rest. And she used to put the butter there for the waiter. So we used to meet in the fridge all the time. And, so our love kind of blossomed in a meat fridge.
So what happened?
Which for a man, sir, guys, you know that it's not very good when it's cold, is it?
No.
But listen, I went through I went through with the kissing and all of that.
And
don't worry about that. It's
very
fine.
quickly, because we've got 1 minute left, and you
Okay.
work in television, so you know the importance of timings.
Yeah.
Tell us about your boy, because you talk about all the women in your life, but your son might follow you.
Luciano?
Yeah.
Luciano's got already 2 restaurants.
Alder
And-
the Edge, where I live.
Alderley. Oh,
Yeah.
you live in Alderley
Yes.
Edge? Have you gone to the new
course
Edge?
I
Thank you
have.
very much. So he's got 2 restaurants and they all want to follow me. I don't think Rocco is going to go into the restaurant business, to be honest. He wants to do management and stuff like that. And my little princess, Mia, at the moment is all about dancing and TikTok and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
So I have no
fantastic.
idea what she wants
Well,
to
it's been lovely to see you.
do. The pleasure
and,
is all mine.
As Gino
You don't need to do
mentioned,
that. You don't really. They got it. They got it. Gino
This is
Italy,
like Mama Used to Make, out now, and the TV show on ITV
Yeah.
on Sunday at 4
One second, I just
PM.
got an announcement.
That is it.
How come that
Today.
is in the middle of the announcement?
Tomorrow, loose favourite Nadia Hussein is back. She's going to be chatting all about her latest project and why baking doesn't mean spending all day
So
in
I'm
the
here and we
kitchen.
plug someone else's
Have a
book.
lovely afternoon.